Hi everybody, it's Lynne Huysamen here from kaboki.com, and today I just wanted to update you on my Mum Tum challenge. So for the first week, which ended on Sunday just past, my mission was to cut out carbs, cut out sugar, cut out all the naughty things like the chips, the chocolates, the dip, basically all the bad stuff. And it was going to be a high protein, very low or no carb meal plan, and exercising every single day. Oh, and cutting out coffee, of course, which I've become quite addicted to, and I'll be sharing about that on my addiction website because it's actually been a very, very interesting journey. So on the exercise front, I'll just tell you how I did. First morning I did brilliant. I got up at 6 o'clock. I ran 1.8 kilometers. I was like, wow, I could do this stuff. Second day I woke up, I was nearly dead. I could barely move and my body was stiff. I still got up. I ran mostly. I ran most of the way, and then every now and then I had a bit of a walk, and then I ran again, and I managed 1.2 kilometers. And each of these days I came back afterwards and I did a yoga session. And the videos that I shared, I did the one yoga video, and it looked awesome when I watched it, and I kind of did it a bit with my son when he gave me that messed up lip. But when I did it, I realized this is not beginner's yoga at all. Either that or I'm become seriously stiff and unfit, which I think certainly adds to it. But it wasn't beginner yoga. So the second day I did a new search for a yoga video, which I'll share, and I did that instead. It was more like a stretch. Well, that's what it says. For me, it was a workout, but the YouTube video says it was a after exercise stretch yoga session. Either way, that worked for me. So the third day, I was actually, my muscles and everything were so sore that I only did the yoga workout, and then exercise kind of ground to a halt. It didn't go any further, and there's a reason for that. So I'll explain that now. The other thing that happened with the coffee and the sugar, the first day I could actually I was craving eating, and I don't know if it was the physical craving for the sugar or the caffeine, or if it was more like I'm so used to doing something, and also quitting smoking last year, I picked up eating all the time. So I don't know if it was I had to keep doing something all the time that was bothering me, or if it was so much the sugar and the caffeine that I was craving. I couldn't really tell. But let me tell you what did happen. On the Sunday when I started, at 11 a.m., I got a headache. And I was expecting this because I've heard that when you detox and you do this sort of thing, you get a headache. I didn't understand quite how bad it could be. So the Sunday I got a headache, and it lasted all the way through Sunday. And Sunday night when I slept, I had this horrible headache, and it just got worse and worse. I could actually feel it while I was sleeping. You know when you're ill but you're asleep, but you can feel the pain. So that's what happened to me on the Sunday night. The Monday I had a headache the whole day, and I think at about 2 o'clock on the Monday, it was, the kids were driving me crazy, and I had this pounding headache, and they were screaming. So I took 2 headache tablets, which, let me just explain, I'm an addict and alcoholic, so I don't get anything nice. I get paracetamol. Even when you have a cesarean section afterwards and everyone gets migraines and that sort of thing, I get paracetamol. So that never takes a headache away. It does nothing for me. So I usually don't bother taking headache tablets because, well, there's no point, is there? I mean, if you take something and it doesn't work, it's pointless taking it. So I was desperate. I tried. It didn't work. So come day 3, which was Tuesday, I got to about 10 o'clock in the morning, and it was now a full-blown migraine. And I thought, fuck this, I'm going to have a cup of coffee. And you know what happened? By the time I took my last sip, I felt fine. I felt great. I had a little bit of sugar in the coffee. I 1.5 spoons. Usually, lately I've been using a tablespoon of coffee and a tablespoon of sugar. I don't even mess around with a teaspoon. So having 1.5 teaspoons of sugar was actually really, really good. But this just goes to show the hold that caffeine has on us. It was actually really, really bad. So on the other note of how am I feeling overall? Because that's the main thing here is, yes, I've got this fat stomach, which is not good. But my main thing was I didn't feel good within myself. So, in a lot of ways, I'm still drinking coffee. I'm still having a little bit of sugar in my coffee. And the exercise kind of fell on its face. But what do I feel overall? Overall, I ate really, really healthily. On Saturday night, my husband and I each had a glass of Coke, and we had some chips because that's our movie night. and we had a little bit of chocolate. I don't think we should be shot for that. That was actually planned well in advance. We decided that Saturday night would be our treat night. So I think that's fair enough. You're allowed to, break the rules every now and then, as long as you enjoy it and you don't feel bad. But overall, I'm feeling better. I weighed myself. I haven't lost any weight. I haven't gained any, so that's pretty cool. But then remember, do you remember my piece of string from my other video, which I put around my tummy? I said I don't really want to go with centimeters or anything. So this kind of fit when I put it around my stomach in the beginning. If I put it round, it fit exactly around my stomach. So let me show you this. I hope you can see clearly. Let me hold it. Yeah, there we go. So I'm still feeling a little bit fat, but it's overlapping now. So that's really, really cool. So it has had an effect. And so there's that. My stomach has shrunk a bit. My husband has now said, you don't look fat anymore. You look like you are pregnant. I think I'll take that as a compliment. I think. And then, yeah, I feel better. So I've been eating lots of salads, lots of tuna, lots of avo, lots of nuts and biltong, that sort of thing. And and then from Sunday I started eating carbs again, but whole wheat bread and sweet potato instead of potato, that sort of thing. And of course, very, very low carbs. And overall, I feel better. I can feel my body is lighter. I don't have that heaviness. I don't have that feeling all the time. So I think the first week was a success. I think maybe I expected too much of myself with the exercise. And like I say, with that migraine and feeling so sick, it wasn't just a migraine. By the time I drank the coffee, I actually felt nauseous and dizzy. So, I'll give myself a break on this first week, and I plan to, pick up the exercise again. But my main thing is that whatever I do manage to do right, I want to continue with that. So I'm not picking out on chips. I'm not drinking Coke. I am drinking water. I'm eating healthier. I'm eating decent meals, decent snacks, eating at the right times. Oh, and I'm not managing lunch. And before I used to eat maybe lunch and supper, and now I'm eating breakfast. I'm snacking a bit during the day, I'll have an avo for a snack or a bit of nuts or a bit of biltong, but I'm not hungry because I have a really, really big breakfast with my kids and my husband. And then I eat supper. But at lunchtime, the thought of eating a meal, I'm just not hungry. So I just thought, to go and make myself eat a meal when I'm not hungry is pretty stupid. So I've kind of changed the way I'm doing that. So this week I'm going to try once again and incorporate a little bit of yoga, but I'm not going to push myself too hard, because the point of this whole thing is not to kind of go on a crash diet and just madly lose weight. The point of this is to change my lifestyle and have it as something I can maintain forever. So drinking the water, I'm doing well. Eating nicely, I'm doing well. I'm now going to try add in a bit of exercise, and we'll see how that goes. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you like the way that my tum-tum has shrunk a little bit. Hopefully soon I'll be able to do some sit-ups and stuff, and start toning my stomach. I mean, how cool would that be? Instead of just getting the fat off, we can tone it. And my husband brought me some dumbbells, some little dumbbells. So I'm going to try tone my arms as well. We'll see how that goes. So anyway, till next week. I hope everybody else has made some progress this week. And I look forward to hearing from you guys. Thank you.